Hello there. As we come to the end of June, a lot of the farmers that we've been speaking to over the phones have been asking about haymaking opportunities over the past month. So I thought we'd start this week's farming forecast by taking a look at the number of dry days places have seen across the UK. So this map shows the greatest number of consecutive dry days for places around the UK, and you can see across much of England we've seen 4 or 5 consecutive dry days. So this has been definitely given people a good spell for doing some haymaking at times, and even parts of East Anglia such as Suffolk seen up to 7 consecutive dry days. So lots of places will have had an opportunity to cut and dry some hay here. However, as we look further north and west, you can see some places in that lighter colour there seeing 2 or 3 consecutive dry days where things have just been, a little wetter, showers or spells of rain preventing those long spells of dry days. So 2 or 3 dry days, many places here, not really enough to cut and dry your hay here. But elsewhere, some places have definitely seen an opportunity or two. Now let's take a look at the forecast for the coming weeks, starting with the jet stream. So currently it's located across southern Britain, fairly weak at the moment, but as we head towards the UK, things will start to strengthen up a bit. You can see those red colours coming back in there, indicating those strong winds and acting to steer an area of low pressure towards us as we head towards the weekend. Let's take a look at the forecast for Wednesday. So it's a rather unsettled, quite a messy picture with variable cloud and spells of showery rain for many places on Wednesday. And those showers could potentially turn heavy at times, particularly across sort of Southern Ireland, Wales, England, those kind of areas. They may turn heavy with the odd rumble of thunder possible. Also worth noting, on Wednesday night, there's a possible longer spell of rain across parts of northern England, maybe into sort of North Wales, parts of the Midlands, North Norfolk, but that will clear eastwards as we head into Thursday. So on Thursday, looks like another showery day. We'll have sort of plenty of scattered showers around, and again, these could turn heavy at times as well. Now looking towards Friday, we've got an area of low pressure generally sort of out to the west in the Atlantic, and that will act to push an area of rain across the UK. However, starting the day on Friday, many places will have this ridge of high pressure, bringing a dry and bright start before that rain indeed pushes southeastwards throughout the day on Friday and into Saturday as well. That rain then clearing to the east on Saturday to leave generally a drier day for the rest of the day, but just a few showers could follow in some places. And it'll also turn breezier Friday into Saturday as well, so that's something to watch out for. Now let's take a look at the spraying opportunities over the next few days. So with the showers over the coming days, there's a few ideal opportunities for spraying, but they're sort of few and far between, interspersed between those showers. And then as we head towards sort of Friday, Saturday, and those winds pick up, again, not too many spraying conditions. Perhaps though, as we head into Sunday and things start to calm down a bit, you can see those green colours returning to the map, suggesting that spraying might be possible towards the very end of the weekend. Now, if you ever need to ask our forecasters about spraying opportunities, or indeed you're looking to get some haymaking done, the best thing to do is to call our forecasters on 09065 777675. They're available but every day between 6 AM and 6 PM. Calls cost £1.55 a minute plus network access charges, and they'll be happy to speak to you and answer any of your weather related questions. So let's take a look at the forecast a little further onwards, so early next week, and it does look like high pressure will sort of start to build to the southwest of the UK, acting to settle things down a little bit. So it does look like it'll become drier as we head into the early part of next week, with some bright spells around as well. However, it does look like northwestern parts will see a few more things in the way of showers at times, so not completely dry for many places. There'll still be occasional showers. Now let's look sort of a little further ahead. It does generally look like we've still got high pressure hanging around to the south of the UK, keeping things rather settled and generally drier than average here. However, it looks like an area of low pressure will bring some longer spells of rain to northwestern parts by the end of next week. Obviously the timings still slightly uncertain, and the amounts uncertain with this as well, but definitely one to keep an eye on. Now let's take a look at the chance of a dry day over the sort of coming few weeks. So you can see over the next few days, when we've got showers and spells of rain, a very low chance of a dry day for many places. However, looking from sort of Sunday onwards, many places, particularly in kind of southern parts, becoming a very high chance of a dry day. With that high pressure building, things tending to sort of dry out and become more settled, although you can see northwestern parts still got those sort of medium, sort of low chances of a dry day in places. So still watching out for sort of showers or spells of rain up here, but many sort of southern places looking like a good chance of dry days into the sort of following week. And indeed further ahead as well, a few patches where there's sort of medium or lower chances of a dry day, but generally as we look further onwards, the chart is dominated by those brown colours, suggesting we're into a sort of more drier spell of weather. And what is this looking to do to the sort of soil moisture that we're expecting? So you can see over the sort of coming few days, with those spells of rain, with those showers, we can expect to see a bit of a water gain, most of those models going upwards there in this ensemble forecast, suggesting a gain in the sort of potential, the soil moisture as it were. But as high pressure builds, things start to dry out into next week. You can see that red line showing the average of the ensemble members just dipping below zero once again, so suggesting by the end of this sort of forecast period we will be back into a water loss as things turn drier than average again. So this is an excellent thing to keep an eye on if you're interested in planning for irrigation and things like that. So let's take a look at the monthly forecast. Again, week 2 really kind of supporting what we've been saying about high pressure starting to build in places. So you can see those red colours across much of sort of northwestern Europe, suggesting a higher than average pressure, and indeed extending across much of sort of central Europe as well, with only a few sort of areas on the sort of peripherals of Europe showing that lower than average pressure is expected. And indeed this is reflected in the precipitation anomaly as well. You can see those brown colours across much of northern or sort of western Europe, suggesting drier than average conditions. Only a few sort of places looking wetter than average, sort of southeastern parts of Europe, and indeed sort of northeastern parts of Scandinavia and western Russia as well. Looking at the temperatures for the UK generally, things are staying sort of close to normal for week 2. So some places, particularly sort of southeastern parts, will be slightly above average at times, while northwestern parts are slightly below. Elsewhere across Europe, Scandinavia and sort of Eastern Central Europe, Southeastern Europe looking to have lower than average temperatures, while much of Eastern Europe, Western Russia and also Southwestern Europe temperatures will be higher than average. Looking forward into week 3, not much of a change, still looking like we've got high pressure generally dominating across much of Northern Europe, while sort of pressure to the south is closer to or slightly lower than average in general. So looking at the precipitation anomaly once again, you can see a lot of those brown colours across northern, sort of western Europe as well, while those sort of wetter than average conditions generally can be found in sort of southeastern parts of Europe, where I'm sure there'll be sort of occasional showers or thunderstorms here. Looking at the temperatures, not much in the way of strong signals across sort of northern Europe. Things will be generally quite close to average. Across parts of southern Europe you can see a bit more of a change here, so looking at sort of western parts and sort of the far east and western Russia, temperatures will be higher than average, while in sort of southeastern Europe, parts of central Europe as well, temperatures tending to be lower than average for the time of year. Looking into week 4, not much change once again, still looking like we've got high pressure sort of generally dominating for us, so looking to bring sort of more settled conditions generally as well, drier than average for many places, although you can see a few green patches across northern Europe, suggesting a few showers at times as well. Elsewhere, further sort of south across Europe, a bit of a mixture again, some patches drier than average, some wetter than average, and likely due to the distribution of any showers as we head into week 4. Temperatures as we look into week 4, generally most places are starting to show a signal for above average temperatures, although southeastern Europe is still hanging on to those slightly lower than average temperatures. It does look like we can expect things to become slightly warmer as we head towards the end of the month. So let's take a look at the outlook for the UK over the next couple of weeks. So at first, there'll be showers for many places, potentially heavy with the odd rumble of thunder at times in the south, and then becoming breezier as we head towards the weekend with outbreaks of rain pushing in from the sort of west, the northwest. Then into the following week, high pressure will start to build, generally sort of to the south or southwest of the UK, and bringing more settled conditions, particularly to southern parts, and also temperatures recovering closer to average during this week as well. Throughout the rest of July, it will generally be drier than average with temperatures closer to normal. So thank you for watching today's Weatherquest farming forecast. As always, please get in touch with us on social media, and if you're on YouTube, please do leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.